Hey guys, I'm like, what's wrong with the what you call it? But hey guys, happy Monday. Before we dive into this video with the purpose driven life, I'm gonna do as multiple videos today, so you guys are gonna get multiple videos from me. With that. But I just want to really start off by saying, y'all know sometimes I could be like kind of sensitive and emotional. I'm not being sensitive and emotional right now. I'm just having a moment with you guys. Um, I was just thinking, and sometimes I think, like by myself about these things, like with the channel. It's been just a little over 3 years that I've started uploading with the channel and doing lives with you guys and interacting. And, it has been a journey and God has given me strength to continue. I just really want to tell you guys that I love y'all. Y'all know that. I always tell y'all that, but I genuinely do love y'all that are genuinely here and that has taken this journey along with me. Whether you've been with me since the beginning or you're new, I love and appreciate the views. I love and appreciate you not only just viewing. When I say views, I mean you taking the time to apply what you're viewing into your life. You drawing closer to God, your lives being changed. I get emails from you guys, I get text messages, and it's just a blessing. And I just want to let you guys know, that I have to read this. Let me mark that down. But the best is yet to come. And I just was thinking like we are all growing together. Like if you look on the about tab, I have that little paragraph. We're all living and learning and growing together. So not only are you guys being blessed by the channel, but if you think about it, and I have thought about this a few times, I'm being blessed by the channel as well because it's helping take my faith to a deeper level. It's showing God I'm going to continue to be consistent and, continue to trust Him. And it takes me to deeper levels too because it takes me to deeper levels of prayer. It allows me to see different sides of God that I didn't see before. It allows me to go deeper in my spiritual faith and journey, and it also allows me to want to keep my personal life and my public life with matching my convictions, my beliefs, my morals, standards. It helps me go deeper in my word. It helps me go deeper definitely in my praise and worship, my prayers and intercession for you guys. I am daily literally praying for you guys, and I'm here for y'all. Like if y'all email me a prayer request, I'm here. I'm diligent to, be consistent with who God lead, and I'm just grateful that I'm able to make an impact. I know that this is not like a huge channel, and to be honest, I'm okay with that because to me, it's like I enjoy more of the fellowship of the intimacy that we do have with the channel and how we all like interact, even though some of y'all do be shy, but still, I still love it. So I just wanted to say that, you know, I'm grateful for all of us on this journey, and like I said, there be days where I wanted to give up. There be some days where I'm like, God, it's too much. There were some days that I be wanting to pull back and just like focus on just me. And I be glad when I don't give up. I be glad when I persevere, because there are some things that I go through behind the scenes that you guys don't know, but it's me and God getting through it, and it's helping to build to me, and like it's helping me to, like, how could I say, it's helping me to endure and persevere, and it helps me. And I notice like how, let's say I didn't, I'm hurting get to the book, because we got to close this book because we got some great things coming up for April, which is a few days away. April 1st is my mom's birthday, guys, so keep her in prayer, and just ask that God continue to bless and keep her, because she is just a blessing. But what was I saying? What was I saying? Somebody let me know what was what was I saying? I don't know, but basically, oh, thank you, Lord. Yeah, this is what I was saying. So like I noticed like some 4 minutes. Wow, let's hurry up. I would notice like some seasons, like let's say I didn't understand this part of why I went through certain things, or but that season would prepare me for another season, and then it'll like all make sense. So for example, like when we first began reading this book, we you probably that read the book already knew I read this book like 10 years ago, 2010, yeah, 10 years ago, and I never read it after that. I read it like the end of 2010, and I never read it after that until this year, until we started reading together in March. But for less, and then some of it I forgot because that's 10 years. So it's good to revisit this. But like it's just like our seasons of life, and I've said this before, is like chapters. You may not understand like why one chapter represents this, but as you continue to read, like all of it will come together and make sense. Because if you notice, like even in the Bible and even with this book we read in, some chapters are different from other chapters, but we all need each chapter. So I'm grateful. I really got to say I'm thankful and grateful for God. I'm grateful and thankful for my highs and lows. Even some questions I be having like, Lord, what about this, or why this or this or that, but he's so good. So I just want to tell y'all, y'all know I love you. Like I said, I'm daily praying for y'all. I appreciate y'all. We're learning and building together, right? I remember like my first. Do I want to talk about that, or is you just going to get into the purpose driven life? Let's just get into the purpose driven life, because this could easily be not a chit chat video, but a heart to heart, and just me kind of telling y'all the back end of my struggles and wars and different things with really being faithful with ministry and business entrepreneurship, and a lot of things that y'all don't know that was going on behind the scenes, just because I'm saying yes to God and serving him and want him more than anything, and just to different things. But we're not going to get into that now. Maybe one day I would, like I told y'all before, maybe one day I would give y'all the full scope on that when God lead. But let's just jump into the purpose driven life. We're on day 33, how real servants act. It's a notification. So the book has 40 days, but I just pray that y'all know I'm praying for you. I love you. You guys have the videos, the playlist. I have organized them into playlists, so it's easier for you guys to go on and click. I'm glad you guys are encouraged by the channel. I'm thankful that God is using me. Who knew? I'm thankful. I thank you that genuinely pray for me, that so that you are applying these videos to your life. My main thing is it getting you closer to God? What is it, something that you can take out of it that could help you be positive? Anyone that know me know I try to be positive. God has really changed me a lot in real life. Even when I wasn't saved, I still was positive. It just, I was bound because I wasn't saved, but and it's not saying, that this road has been perfect for me. I feel like I have faced more on this side than the other side, but that's what comes when you follow in Christ, but I wouldn't trade it. And my life is so different, and I'm so different. And even with my shortcomings and hiccups, God's still building me up with that and giving me his strength. So I appreciate that. And it's like, I'm just so me. I be so humble in my heart that God used me the way he do, not just with this channel, but in my personal life, to my family, my friends, especially my friends that knew me from back in the day, for real, and they see the change, they see the growth. Some of them, they really not friends anymore because they can't get with it. They so stuck there. I pray for them, or they mocking it. And then some of them that did cross over, that was just as wild as me, they get it and they see God moving in their life. And I love that, and I'm thankful that I am where I am today versus where I would have been. And I know God got greater ahead for me, just like he does for you guys. Greater is up ahead. And I'm just so thankful the way God used me to sow seeds and build blessing in other people's life. Because it's like he don't have to do that. He don't have to use me. But the fact that he does, it's like I'm so appreciative, and I try to be so grateful. I try to be so appreciative and so grateful no matter what I'm going through. If I'm facing highs or lows, I try to still encourage people. I try to be grateful. I try to press into prayer. I try to seek God every day, and it's working. It's helping. It's working, and that's where I'm at with it, and I'm thankful, so I just, I just wanted to say that, so I'm just thankful, you guys that's blessed by daily devotionals and the devotional messages. I thank God. You guys that's blessed by the prayer lines, these videos, the packets, the Bible study packets, the classes, just everything we be doing. Like, I'm just grateful to God, because it's not me. I'm just gonna, I told y'all that. I'm gonna say it again. It definitely is not me. It's the Lord. So I'm thankful and grateful, and what I'm also thankful and grateful for is you on here, that you interact, or maybe you don't, but your life has changed, and the people that you're able to impact, not just because of this channel, but even other channels and ministries that God have put in your life, and even like maybe the church or somewhere that you attend and everything. I'm grateful for the way God has blessed your life and changed your life and moved in you, and the people that you're able to touch. So that is a blessing. And I want to say, don't give up. Now, when I came on here, I wasn't finna really say all this. I was just gonna say a 1 minute thank you, and I'm grateful and I love y'all. But I'm just flowing like, don't never give up. You never know who needs you. You never know who watching you. You never know who you're impacting. So don't give up. Keep going. It's another notification. Keep going forward with what God gives you, and just know He's going to work it all out. All right, so let's just say that we started at 11 minutes, because we're going to be closing this book out between today and tomorrow. I'm going to try to shoot for today, but whatever I don't get to today, we'll do tomorrow. But like I said, I'm going to really try to shoot for today for us to be done with this book. So we're on day 33, How Real Servants Act. Whoever wants to be great must become a servant. Mark 10:43. And I'm just going to read like a few sentences, because we read some of this yesterday. We stopped on God determines your greatness. So that's Mark 10:43. And then Matthew 7:16. You can tell what they are by what they do. CEV. So we're on page 257, purpose number 4. You were shaped for serving God. Day 33. So we serve God by serving others. The world defines greatness in terms of power, possessions, prestige, and position. If you can demand service from others, you've arrived. In our self-serving culture with its me first mentality, acting like a servant is not a popular concept. 1 second, guys. Jesus, however, measured greatness in terms of service, not status. God determines your greatness by how many people you serve, not how many people serve you. This is so contrary to the world's idea of greatness that we have a hard time understanding it, much less practicing it. The disciples argued about who deserved the most prominent position. And 2,000 years later, Christian leaders still jockey for position and prominence in churches, denominations, and parachurch ministries. Okay. Thousands of books have been written on leadership, but few on servanthood. Everyone wants to lead. No one wants to be a servant. We would rather be generals than privates. Even Christians want to be servant leaders, not just plain servants. But to be like Jesus is to be a servant. And I can attest and tell you that it is about service and serving Him and keeping Him first. It is about servanthood, That's why He called Himself. Look, but to be like Jesus is to be a servant. That's what He called Himself. While knowing our shape, we talked about shape yesterday, is important for serving God, having the heart of a servant is even more important. I'm sorry. Remember, God shaped you for service, not for self-centeredness. Somebody post that below in the comments, or just make a note. God shaped you for service, not for self-centeredness. Without a servant's heart, you will be tempted to misuse your shape for personal gain. You will also be tempted to use it as an excuse to exempt yourself from meeting some needs. God often tests our hearts by asking us to serve in ways we're not shaped. If you see a man fall into a ditch, God expects you to help him out, not say, I don't have the gift of mercy or service. While you may not be gifted for a particular task, you may be called to do it if no one gifted is. Okay, wait. While you may not be gifted for a particular task, because sometimes I will read faster than my mouth is reading. I don't know. I've been doing that since I was little. So sometimes when I'm doing these videos with you guys, I have to catch myself. Because even though I'm reading it, my eyes is going faster than. So let's go back. While you may not be gifted for a particular task, you may be called to do it if no one gifted at it is around. Okay. Your primary ministry should be in the area of your shape, but your secondary service is wherever you're needed at the moment. Your shape reveals your ministry, but your servant's heart will reveal your maturity. Let me just put the book up my neck, okay, guys? No special talent or gift is required to stay after a meeting to pick up trash or stack chairs. Anyone can be a servant. All it requires is character. It is possible to serve in church for a lifetime without ever being a servant. You must have a servant's heart. Okay, the Lord's telling me to share that. I believe I shared it before, but I'll share it. How can you know if you have the heart of a servant? Jesus said you can tell what they are by what they do. That's number one. And before we get into real servants make themselves available to serve, I've had I've learned to be a servant. You know, I feel like it's always been in me to be a servant, but God had to turn it for like his glory to serve. Like God would have me serve people, like bless them with things, bless them with rice, bless them with food, cook for them, bless them with groceries, bless them with like their bills, be a servant, like pray, encourage them. Even like when I started really getting seriously into church back in like 2010, God would have us serve not everybody because some people were so stuck up, but like he'll have me and the people that I was connected um, to serve. Like we would wash dishes, like when they had events like Pastor's Appreciation or they're giving out Thanksgiving meals or different things. We'll be right there to serve. We'll be there to clean up the church so many times out the week, clean up the bathrooms, wash the dishes, vacuum, make sure the chairs are straightened up. We'll be praying, we'll just serve, and I enjoyed doing it. Like I remember one night we was there like all day until like late in the night, and we got a chance to eat and enjoy as well, but they knew like that this team is like really going to serve and not going to showboat and want nothing for it. Like why would you be doing that anyway? But I was washing dishes for like 3 hours, and in real life I like doing it, and I was tired. I like washing dishes and cleaning up. I had a cleaning business, so I enjoy cleaning up. Literally, that's just since I was little. I just like things neat and clean. But I was washing dishes for like 3 hours. They were bringing things in, and then the person that had came from hours ago, they were like, "You still here washing dishes?" I was like, "Yep." I wasn't the only one because they had some of them taking out garbage. Sometimes I take out garbage too. Vacuum. We all just rotate. And they were like, "You still washing the dishes?" And I had on my nice little dress because it was like a event. But I know how to take them heels off and that jewelry off and serve. So never think you're too good to serve. Like nothing wrong with cleaning up the bathrooms. Nothing wrong with greeting people. And then like other churches that I went to, God didn't tell me to serve because like maybe these were bigger churches or they already had them. I would just like sow, and like even that church I would sow my seeds and tithes and pray and stuff, and wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect. They weren't perfect, but I like what I learned there, how to be, how not to be, and I like that it helped me to develop a servant's heart because I didn't know that I would go through certain things that I went through, and I didn't know like God would be really calling me into ministry for like this way with the YouTube. Like I told y'all, WhatsApp, we had a group, Ambassadors for Christ. The same thing y'all getting. They got just like voice notes and scriptures and encouragement. I don't know how many people were on there. It was quite a few people on there, and they were really blessed. And I did that for like maybe 2-3 months. The Lord had called me to keep it up earlier, but what happened was I told you I shared this with y'all, but my last miscarriage, I was like so depressed with that for like 2 weeks. I told y'all that story a few times. And I told you the Lord showed me, he said, your transparency will bless the lives of many people. So I know you're reserved and you don't like sharing too much, but if I lead you to share something, share it. So over the years, that's what I try to do. And I notice it be a healing and a locking for other people, to step out my box, So, so I had stopped because that whole situation, but I was supposed to keep it going. And then so that was like October 2016. So February 2017 I began posting on the YouTube channel. And I told y'all God had tricked me because I have a boutique business online, and I have like business services up underneath that business. And he was like, "Yeah, post your boutique," because my goal was, okay, well, I'm gonna have me my YouTube channel. I wasn't thinking nothing about prayers or Bible study or nothing. The Lord had told me 3 years before, because if you look on the channel, you'll see I joined September 11, like 2014. I didn't start posting until February 2017. So he was like, "Yeah, upload your boutique stuff." I was like, "Oh, I can do that because I don't really have to be on camera. I can just post my stuff and make my money and be happy." And God had tricked me. Really, it was for ministry, which I do post my boutique stuff on here because I'm able to do both, but it really is for like mostly ministry and prayer and stuff like what we're doing. But that's what I'm saying, guys. When God give you something to do, whether you feel like you understand it or not, whether you feel qualified, whether fear try to come in or whatever, you got to push through in faith, and you have to do it. Because there were times where I wouldn't have no views, baby. I still was pushing them videos out because God told me to push them out. There were times where I remember I only had like 3 subscribers, and I was faithful over them 3 subscribers. The same content y'all getting today, they getting. And if I only go back down to 1 subscriber, I'm still gonna pour out my heart, because that's a soul. I don't look at numbers like, oh, it's about numbers. I look at quality, because that's what God looks at. God looks more at quality over quantity. It's okay to have quantity, but is it quality with that quantity? So I try to keep that in the back of my mind. I try to always have like the same like demeanor and posture no matter what season I'm in, because God is watching us. You know, I'm not a pastor. You know, I'm not like ordained. A lot of stuff that I learned outside of church, I would say like 85 to 90% I learned in my personal relationship with God, alone with him, that I didn't learn in church. He taught me, Holy Spirit, just praying, just seeking him, just crying out to him, just worshiping, just opening up my Bible and letting him teach and mold me. You know, I told you October would be really 11. October will be 10 years, really 11. The summer will really be the summertime. It's really like 11, but I don't count that. I didn't get serious till months after the next year, so I count like 10. So I really don't count the full time, but it's years and years. It's just giving yourself to God, and every day I'm learning more about him. You know, I don't feel like none of us have arrived. I feel like when we get to heaven, that's our official arrival. But it's okay to grow. Like I told you guys too many times already, but the Bible's talk about we go from faith to faith, level to level, and glory to glory. So that's my encouragement to you guys all the time. I know what that's like when you don't have no encouragement and you got to push yourself and God pushing you. I'm grateful for the encouragement that I do have, you know, but I'm just saying, like, that's why I go so hard to want to encourage people and pray for them and be positive, and people don't be pulling people down, like, because people are already going through enough, and that 1 ounce of encouragement and positivity, like, you don't know what that will do in that person's life, you know. So I'm just talking about service, you know. And there are other times where I serve, like when we had concerts and events, and you know, and it give you pleasure because you know it give God pleasure. And then another thing that helps me, like, stay humble with my service to people that God leads me to, because some people will take advantage, and that's like, but it's one thing. Why did I just do that? But it do be like no. So anyway, one thing that keeps me humble with my humbleness and my servanthood is to remain humble and not like be prideful or egotistical, or just keep a humble heart before God in real life, and be of service, however the service will be. It's because of Jesus washed his disciples' feet. We're talking about Jesus Christ, our Lord. He washed their feet, you know, and he constantly was serving people. When he was tired, sometimes he'll see people, his heart will be like open for them, like kind, compassion to them, because they're like a sheep without a flock. These people need to be healed. These people need prayers. People need food. These people need a word. He constantly had a servant's heart, you know, like he told them, I could call down Jesus and angels to come here right now. Think it's a game? I can call them to come right now. But he said, not his will, God's will be done. You know, even when he was on the cross, they had mocked him and were like, yeah, he saved others. He can't save himself. But he had a greater purpose in mind. And that's just my encouragement. This has to be the Holy Spirit, because I just wanted to read the book and get off. And I'm going to come back on in the next video right now after this thing goes out. But do it for the glory of God. Do it as if God is watching you, because he is. You know, if you know, like, God, is this going to please you or not please you, do your best to strive to seek him. It's not saying perfection. We need God's grace daily, because we're in a fallen world, and we are human beings. We're fallen, like, in nature, in our nature. But still strive to see God every day. And I'm telling you, your reward will be great. We talked about so many times the rich man and Lazarus. You know, the rich man was rich here, but he ended up in hell. Not because of his riches, but because of he made his riches his God. You know? And that was his portion, this life having here, but then after that, then what you have. Like the Bible talk about what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and you lose your soul forever, you know? And then Lazarus, he went to Abraham's bosom. We did some teachings on this. Went to Abraham's bosom and he was in heaven. There was a chasm between them. So you want to do it in a way like if you stand before God today, that's another thing that helps me keep things in perspective. I had a mentality, if I were to stand before the Lord today, right now, if I was to stand before the Lord soon, will he be pleased? That's why daily I ask him, you know, to forgive me for my sins. If I offended somebody, knowingly, unknowingly, if somebody offended me, you know, not to get back to my old ways, stay on this path, you know, such and such, and just keep me. And I'll be praying that he have mercy on me and forgive me, and, you know, and ask him to show me things, you know, and he does, and he will reveal himself. So it's just about, and even if you fall, because I fall so many times, like anybody, get back up and keep going, you know. So that's really what I want to say. I guess we will title this video Purpose Driven Life in Heart Talks. I don't know. But let's read for like another minute, and then when I come back on for the next few videos, we're just gonna hammer out just on that word. And you guys will probably be getting these videos later, because a lot of times I'm recording them and uploading them much earlier than you guys are getting them. So y'all may think, oh, she just posted a video, but really I posted a video like many hours before you got it. It's just sometimes with the with the uploading process, it takes a while to upload. Sometimes I upload and then it'll say failed, and I gotta re-upload, and I be hating when it do that. And then sometimes after upload, it'll be uploaded and then it'll process, and it'll say 2 hours to process, 1 hour, such and such to process. So, you know. But let's read real servants make themselves available to serve. Let's just read like a little bit of this, then I'll upload this and I'll begin just reading. So servants don't fill up their time with other pursuits that could limit their availability. They want to be ready to jump into service when called on. Much like a soldier, a servant must always be standing by for duty. No soldier in active service entangles himself in the affairs of everyday life so that he may please the one who enlisted him. That's going to be scripture too, and I'll give you guys the scriptures in the next video. If you only serve when it's convenient for you, you're not a real servant. And that's true, because a lot of times when God asks you to do things, it will be an inconvenience to you. I can personally be honest and say that. It will be an inconvenience to you, or be like, but that doesn't make sense. It's not something that I really, if I had to raise my hand to do it, you know. But real servants do what's needed even when it's inconvenient. So guys, I'm going to be back on now. Thanks for joining.